Hi, and welcome to Weird and Wonderful, where we find weird, sometimes wonderful RPGs. And today, for this episode, is a review episode. Our favorite episodes, I think, maybe. I think actually playing it is our favorite, but, it is an episode that we do enjoy. And we are going to be reviewing our second RPG that we played. Um, I don't know if it's exactly a ttrpg, but I guess technically it is, which is a Modern Prometheus, a role-playing game for two players about gothic horror, dark science, and creative monsters, blah 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 blah. Anyways, uh, how did you feel playing that? I guess as well, we're both players and GMs at the same time, so how did you feel?
I've always felt like collaborative storytelling is a very interesting thing. It's two heads is better than one. I'm gonna tell you. And you know what? You could indeed have two heads if you play the monster in this game. Just putting that out there. Depending on what the scientist wants you to have. Collaborative storytelling is such an interesting thing because it takes both people working together to create something interesting, and that's really fucking cool. At least to me.
Um, I think excellent practice for GMs and players alike. You have a friend, coworker, I don't know about a coworker, a friend, family, um, partner, whatever. I think it could be really fun as a way to improve um, and your improv, and especially a lot of yes anding. I mean, I guess there is a little bit of no, this is the way it is with this one, but you do have to kind of weave a story together. Um, and if you're looking to come up with ideas right on the spot, like we did, because I tried, it's hard to make us come up with a character when the other person kind of comes up with the character for you, which I think definitely enhances um, the improv section, the improv-ing, I should say, of the game.
You
Uh,
have to. You really have to take the other players' ideas and just kind of run with them. It's. I think obviously it's great improv. I think in an improv group, which I have never been in, it could do fucking wonders. But I'm pretty sure they just do that on a daily basis all the time, anyways. Um, but yeah, it's also a great way to experiment with a little bit of world building. Pretty cool.
world building, coming with a character,
Characters.
like,
Especially,
on the spot, but yeah.
yeah, especially because, I mean, me and Kaios, we play RPGs all the time. So we get kind of, super into, the deep stuff.
I think you could definitely play this game without having to go super deep, but it definitely, I think, okay, at the beginning of this RPG, we kind of started off a little bit rocky, which is fine. I mean, you're kind of getting into it, whatever, learning a new system, kind of how to do it, which is hard. As you could probably tell at the very beginning, um, we kind of just the challenges, which is like the questions that you ask. We kind of I kind of just use the questions word for word. Um, and that was a mistake because it sounded very robotic. because it was written down for me. Um, so if you were to play it, I would suggest using the question, but rephrasing it like you would an essay in high school, where they say, "Don't plagiarize." So
You
you,
totally do.
but you do, but you just rearrange the words. That's pretty much what you're gonna have to do
Paraphrasing.
in
Paraphrasing.
rephrasing. So, um, I would expect everybody to kind of have that weird little phase when getting into it, especially if you've never played. If either one of the players have never played a ttrpg like this, which I've never done it, and I don't know if Baz has, but I don't think so.
I haven't. I'm more of a TTRPG with a lot of dice rolling. And what's interesting about this game is that you really only have a D6, a D4, and a pen. Or a pencil. I don't know what you want.
Yeah, technically you're supposed to have coins, a d4 and a d6, but we just whatever. Except I guess tactile. If you were doing it in person, I guess you could use coins, but honestly, you don't really need to. Um,
Yeah, that's who has coins anymore? I'm pretty sure that most of us here are adults, and we have online banking, which is
um,
pretty cool.
yeah. And the six-sided dice that was just a counter, which again, I don't think you really needed that six-sided dice. I don't think we figured out what the four-sided dice was, but maybe you roll it. Um, Either way, you could just use an online dice roller. It's not like you
Exactly.
need. It's not like you have to do any addition or anything like that. It's pretty simple. Um, I would say probably the least setup ever, because there is no setup. Uh, you do the setup together. It's like you have a session 0 in session 1, you know? Um, so yeah.
It's just
Um, and yeah. And I like how you can say things, but again, it says that to express your perspective. So I think both of our characters are expressing their perspective, but it may or may not be true to the other person, and so on and so forth. You know? So like,
what matters is that it's true to the character. You're saying what they would say.
yeah. Which again, very good for improv.
Very good. I think um I think I'm going to establish this very early on in this podcast, but I me I love monsters. I love them. Um Not only from a folklore but storytelling standpoint, movies, books. There's so many angles you can take it with, like comedy, but especially in this one, the tragic monsters are some of my favorite. Um, and the way they make a point to accentuate the sort of gothic feel in it, and I really dig that.
It's really meant to accentuate very you're very much supposed to just like express how you feel. Again, I mean it literally tells you that. You are supposed to just say how you feel, almost like a Greek tragedy. Um and I think which reading when we kind of got to the final challenge, for people that don't know, it really, really um they have a lot of challenges there, and like a lot of them are fighting. And I mean, like,
That's
I think two of them are, yeah, only two of them are not, um, not fight related, like hitting or doing something like that. So, just to let everybody know, it's just kind of like a interesting way that they have taken it. It kind of almost funnels you into a they both hate each other and will like kill each other kind of deal. Um, which we didn't really take it, but you know, it's not like you have to. Um, and I think for myself, I could see maybe doing this 2 or 3 times at most. I don't think I would be doing this. I don't think I would. It's great. It's short, and maybe you could do it a whole bunch of times. But I think either you need to do it with a lot of different people, or I guess maybe if you just really like playing it. But I don't see myself using it. Maybe again, um, unless I don't know. I don't know if I would exactly. Maybe I would use it again, but it's good. It's just um,
It's very good. I think that I feel like it's one of those things you can only play every now and then. But I mean, especially for like if you need a game to just play with someone on like Halloween or something, spooky season. It's a perfect game. I mean,
you could definitely take
depending
it
on,
more horrific.
oh yeah, you could. I think that's what I also love so much about this setting. It's because I feel like we were very limited. There wasn't a lot of horrifying stuff. I think it was more introspective what we did with the monster and the scientist than horrifying. But you could gothic horror has is a gothic horror is such a wide genre that you could really take it anywhere. Like
You could.
you're like a wolf man who was being studied by a bunch of old Victorian like scientists, biologists, and you break out and go on a rampage through a sprawling city and end up under a sewer grate somewhere. You could take it like that. Be as horrifying and gnarly as you possibly want with a setting like that.
Yeah,
It's
it's up to the
it
both players' discretion, really.
exactly. And I mean, like, because there is, it's even in one of the things that we did earlier, like searching for humanity. There's a there's clear weight put on the difference between monster and a human, and what both of those concepts really mean. And I feel like in the span of like in the scheme of moral dilemmas in like fiction, that's one of my favorite tropes because it is just so wide. Me personally, I like portrayals of monsters, of course, more as tragic beings. We don't. Sometimes they're just animals that don't really understand, and some of them are just beginning to understand the world they've come into. And, you know, like it says in the core principles, make humanity monstrous and the monstrous human. There's an ugly side of the beautiful and a beautiful side of the ugly. And this is perfect for that. I'm sorry, I'm very excited right now.
No, it's fine. I talked a lot in the other review, but please go right ahead. Um, but yeah, uh, yeah, I like it. Um, by the way,
Hey,
it says a game for 2 players, but there is at the back of the book something really interesting, which is 3 plus players, expanded rules. So you could technically do it with more people. I think it would be a little bit, reading through it a little bit. Um, I don't know. I don't know. It doesn't seem super, super like robust. Since there's not going to be multiple creations and there's not going to be multiple scientists, you have to assign people the roles of them, which I guess could be interesting improv to assume the persona that somebody else has made. But I think it could get really weird really fast. Definitely a challenge for somebody looking to do that. Definitely a challenge.
and I mean, again, like most RPG systems, you can sort of hack it a little bit here and there. I mean, I don't really have any suggestions right now for 3 plus players because me and Kakao we haven't played with another person, so we can't really say anything about that. But, I mean, if you play it and find a clever way to hack it, do it.
Well, you don't have to hack it. It has expanded rules.
Well, I know, but you said that they're not as robust, so, we'll
Um,
hack it a little bit.
you could maybe even do it where there's a couple creatures or a couple scientists. In this one, that's not the case, but you could. That's what I would maybe suggest. Which could be really interesting. Um, but yeah. Let's see here. Okay. By the way, um, for everybody wondering, it is on Drive-Through RPG, um, by Mitchell Salmon, Mitchellsalmon. Or you can also find it on the itch.io, depending on where you get your TTRPGs, by mqsalmon.itch.io/Prometheus. Or you could probably just look up a Modern Prometheus TTRPG on Google and probably find it too. But those are 2 ways that I got it off of Itch from a Ukraine bundle, to support the Ukraine. Um, but yeah, um, it looks like it's also on Drive-Thru RPG. I don't know if you can get it. I don't know if you could get it physical. No, it's just a PDF. Right now it's $8 on on Drive-Thru RPG, or $6 right now. It's on sale on itch.io. So I don't know if that's going to be the case when this comes out, but it looks like it's supposed to be just $10, which I think is good. Um, I think if you could see yourself using it a lot, I think that's a fair price, especially for somebody that it's an indie. What do you think?
About the game?
Yeah, no, but not about the game. Like, the price point.
I think that for what it is, with 2 players, it's very fair.
There is a lot of repayability. So I think definitely could see you getting your money's worth if this is something that interests you. But again, I would have to say, just like everything we do, if this interests you, I would suggest you pick it up. If it doesn't, maybe skip on it. Um, but I don't. There's not too much wrong with this one. I think it's very. I think the reason why there's not too much wrong with it is because of the sheer fact that there's not much in the RPG. Yeah?
Just want to say goodnight.
Good night.
Oh, sorry, there's a... You're doing the podcast.
Yeah, I know. I'm just...
Sorry.
No, it's fine. I love you. I'm just gonna cut it out.
Yeah, and... Boogie.
Love you too. Yeah. Pretty interesting. I like it. Any closing thoughts, Bez?
Again, I'm a fucking bitch for gothic horror and monsters, so I think the concept already sold me when you told me about it. But I think that it could be a very interesting game. Just to play with a friend, family member. And no matter how you play it, you're going to have fun. Every game is going to be different because everyone has their own interpretations of what a monster is and what the mad scientist who makes a monster is. And you know what? Happy hunting for humanity, monsters out there, and good luck getting a hold of those getting a reel on those creations, scientists. I wish you the best of luck.
Nice way to end it. Yeah. See you guys next ttrpg, where we will be playing. I don't know.
We'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out. See you guys then.